Hi everyone, welcome to Slice of Life. My name is Dabney. I'm the young adult librarian at the Twin Lakes Library System, and I use they/them pronouns. For today's episode, we are going on a virtual walking tour of Memory Hill Cemetery. So we're going to go ahead and enter the cemetery, and I'm going to show you the map really quick and talk to you a little bit about the cemetery, because I didn't want to be standing out on the street talking to y'all. So I'm going up into the gazebo. Here we are. So behind me you've got maps of the cemetery as well as information about some of the people who are buried here. And there's information about taking the walking tour using your phone, as well as like some little laminated guides. But I printed out the map as well because I'm going to take y'all around to these highlighted portions on here. So yeah, let's get started. So, first of all, Memory Hill Cemetery is located about half a mile from the library in downtown Milledgeville. I'm going to have the exact address on the video notes. But it was founded in 1810. So during that time, Milledgeville was the capital of Georgia. It was the capital from 1807 to 1868. And during that time, lots of people were buried here. I believe there's over 7,000 graves. But again, you're going to have to check my facts on the Memory Hill Cemetery website. Right now I'm trying to remember what I read. So on the map they've got little like different graves marked with numbers. So first on our list, if you can see over here, the number 1 is Flannery O'Connor. And Flannery O'Connor is very famous. She's a famous author. So this is her grave right here, right somewhere. I feel bad walking over people's graves. Sorry guys. Oh, over here. I can't read. So, right. And as you can tell, some people have left her some coins and candy and a pin and a rosary, which is feels very appropriate. And some pins over here. Flannery O'Connor wrote, sun is in our eyes, I think. She's a very famous author, but she wrote like kind of Southern Gothic stories, short stories, novels. And she is most famous for the short story, A Good Man is Hard to Find. That's one that I think a lot of people usually end up reading in like high school and college English classes. And you can actually go out and visit her home and farm. So it is just outside Milledgeville. If you go past Walmart, it's right out there. So now we're gonna go to a different part of the cemetery. Yeah, I would just really encourage you all to, go on the website and read through some of the people who are buried here. There's lots of really interesting stories and local history and things that I didn't know about. So, but of course, I'm coming out here. It's after 4 o'clock, but I think it'd be really cool to come out here, around sunset or dusk, and just to get kind of that spooky vibe. And, it's actually like a really kind of pleasant place to take a walk as well. I always like visiting cemeteries. I know that might sound weird, but I don't know, they're pretty, and you can kind of, pick up interesting stories. I just think that looks really cool right over there with the old trees. Rose Hill Cemetery, that's in Macon, and that's also like a really cool historic cemetery to visit. Alright, so hopefully we won't get lost. This is the Fish family vault, which there is kind of a spooky story with that one. Which I don't actually know that well. But several people buried there. Different monuments. And I think it's interesting how different cemeteries are around the world. Like here, you've got kind of elaborate monuments. And then like the cemeteries in Japan are very different than here. Like if you've ever watched an anime and they go to visit, the grave site, that's what the cemeteries look like. It's pretty different. Or just, the differences between different parts of the United States. Like the very old cemeteries, in like Massachusetts, like the New England area, like those graves are totally different than what you're seeing here. Okay, hopefully I can find what I'm looking for. the sexton's cottage right there. I also really like, I think it's Bonaventure Cemetery. That's in Savannah. That one's really pretty, really interesting to visit, of course. If you've read or watched Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, which is like a nonfiction kind of true crime book, Bonaventure's an important part of that. Okay, so here, this is the grave of Bill Miner, and his grave says, "The last of the famous Western bandits, born 1843, died in the Milledgeville State Prison September 2nd, 1914. And as you can see, some people have left some coins and a lighter on his grave. So, like, this is somebody I didn't even know about, didn't know he was buried here. So you can definitely read more about him. The Memory Hill website has some information about some books that were written about him that I thought, was really cool. And yeah, like if you like local history, if you like genealogy, or that sort of thing, like, the library has a local history room with, lots of reference materials you can go look at. We've got, of course, a really great local history section that you can actually check out the books. So, definitely do that. Alright. So let's see. Okay, here is where Carl Vinson and his wife are buried. So Carl Vinson is very famous in Milledgeville. He served in Congress for 50 years. Here it says he was the chairman of the Naval Affairs Committee, chairman of the Armed Services Committee, an advocate for military preparedness. He was credited with being the father of the two-ocean Navy. He was a Democrat, but faithfully served with 9 presidents, from Woodrow Wilson to Lyndon Johnson. In his first speech to the United States House of Representatives, May 27, 1916, he said, "I devoutly hope that the casting of every gun and the building of every ship will be done with a prayer for the peace of America." He never forgot the people he represented. No request for information or service was ever ignored by him. He was truly a servant of all the people. So he is buried. It is warm today, let me tell y'all. So as you can see, other people are visiting today. So, alright. We are looking for number 32. Alright, so 32, Charles Hurdy. And he is notable for several things, and hopefully he's not going to mind if I just take a seat right here to review my notes. And y'all can check out that really tall angel, hopefully you can see it, while I read to you. Alright, so Charles Holmes Hurdy was a noted researcher and chemist. He was also University of Georgia's first football coach. He invented a device that allowed young pines to mature and reseed while allowing extraction of turpentine and other products. In the 1930s, he proved that high-quality newsprint and other paper products could be made from southern pine, thereby greatly aiding the economy of the South. It is for this achievement that most Georgians hold him in highest esteem. All right. Good times. Okay, and we've got one more person to visit. Hold on, let me get my map back. She is way over yonder. We're going to take a scenic route through the trees. So while we're going along, I'll just mention that there are some Milledgeville ghost stories. And I'm not super familiar with them, but oh my goodness, that tree is amazing. But I'll have some more information linked. And like I was saying about the local history books and section, there are several, Georgia ghost books that we have that you could check out and read about. There is a ghost tour that happens in October, so the final one is happening this Saturday. And I believe it's sold out, unfortunately. But, hey, next year, put that on your calendars to get tickets ahead of time and find out about some Milledgeville ghosts. I've been on ghost tours before, like in Savannah. When I've been traveling, I was in England and I went on like a really awesome ghost tour in York. I think York is like the most haunted, city in England, or at least that's what they said. I believe it. It's pretty awesome. Where else? Oh, Edinburgh, really spooky place. And there's like a really amazing book series by Victoria Schwab. It's for middle grades, but honestly, I'm in my 30s and I really love it, so y'all would probably like it. And I'll link that too, because I can't remember the title off the top of my head. Okay, we're looking for number 40. This is very awkward, carrying this around. Alright. Should be around here somewhere. Sorry, y'all. Just taking a moment to orient myself. I'm not sure where I'm at. Maybe it's down here? We're 4 for 4, so I have a good feeling that we can find this. I think it's here, West F. Let's take a look. This is very bright. Oh, there it is. Sorry. Also, some of these flowers are very pretty. Okay. So this is the grave of someone else I didn't know about until I was on the Memory Hill website, and I thought, hey, we have to visit this person. So, going to take a knee here. Dixie Annie Jarrett Haygood is also known as Annie Abbott, the Little Georgia Magnet. And so, let me read you what it says here. She performed for large audiences and royalty throughout the world in the 1890s. She was known as an electric girl and spiritualist who, despite weighing only 96 pounds and being short in stature, had the power to resist attempts by strong men to lift her or push her backwards. Her act is still sometimes performed by magicians and is known as the Annie Abbott. So she traveled the world and performed for royalty. Oh, yeah. It is. And I believe there's a book about her as well I should read. Okay. So we're going to walk back to the gate and finish up our walking tour. So yeah, we only hit, we only visited 5 people. But as you can see, lots of people are buried here. Lots of people are still being buried here. And it is a peaceful, restful place to visit. I love these big trees that offer so much nice shade. So yeah, hopefully y'all can come out here sometime and visit, learn a little bit about the history of Milledgeville and the people who lived here. So yeah, I'm going to cut our video short for today. Let me just log back in right now. But yeah, thank you for coming along. I hope you all have a good weekend and stay spooky. Bye.